Hi guys, welcome to part 3 of this Q&A video. So I suppose I will just jump right into the questions today. What TV series do you like to watch, and what are your top 5 favourite TV series? I like to watch quite a bit of TV, but I think my favourites include Supernatural, Adventure Time, NCIS, Bones, and America's Next Top Model. I also enjoy watching Grimm, Pretty Little Liars, The Lying Games. I really like South Park, The Ghost Whisperer, Buffy. That's all I can think of right now. How long have you been writing, and do you have any advice or tips on writing? I remember the first time that I started writing was back when we had floppy disks, because I saved all my stories onto there, and I think that floppy disk is long gone. Long gone. I kind of went through phases where I wrote. If I read a book that I really liked and it really inspired me, then I'd kind of write stories that are kind of similar to it, like the same sort of genre. I really enjoy writing, but I do not do it enough, which is not a good thing. I should write more. As for tips, I'm probably not the best person to ask because I'm really bad with my writing. I don't do it consistently enough, and I don't think my writing's good enough to be able to give you guys advice. But the best tip that I've heard is just to write every day, and I should probably take that into practice. I should probably do that. I'm just a really lazy person. Which book do you feel is underrated in literature? Out of all my favourite books, I think Noughts and Crosses by Malorie Blackman. I don't think necessarily underrated per se, because a lot of people seem to really enjoy the book, but I just think not enough people read the book, and it is a fantastic book. It is so good. What book do you feel is overrated? Going by the books that I've read and dislike, I'd probably say Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't know, it wasn't my cup of tea, really wasn't. If money was not an issue, where would you travel, or where do you want to go if you save up for a trip? If you'd asked me this a few months ago, I would have said America, but since this trip is actually happening, I guess I will say Japan. I would love to go to Japan. I really would. Or Thailand, or Vanuatu. What fictional place would you like to live in? I'm gonna have to go with the standard answer here and say Hogwarts. I would love to live in Hogwarts. I think it would just be amazing, and be able to use magic. I would love it. I would love it. Is there a female fictional character that you absolutely cannot stand, and if so, why? Jane Eyre, I'd have to say. I didn't like her voice. I thought she was really annoying, and What's the story behind the nose ring? Well, I'd actually wanted to have my nose pierced for like 6 or 7 years before I got it done. I remember back in 2006, when I was in year 6, I wanted to get it done. Now, the main reason I hadn't gotten it done earlier was because at my school, it was a private school, and you can't have any piercings apart from your earlobes. So I couldn't get it done. And then it was after graduation, I was on schoolies, and my friend got it done, and I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to get my nose pierced. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I got it done. Have you read the Percy Jackson series? If so, did you enjoy them? No, I haven't read them yet. I want to someday. Is it possible for you to read books during exam time? I am the master of procrastination, so yes. Back in year 10, I drew this the week before or the week of exams. I was meant to be studying, obviously, but I decided that drawing was a better idea, because I wanted to know how to draw an eye. Are you a vegetarian? Because I mentioned the fact that I love veggie burgers. Yes, I am. Do you listen to music when you read? Not very often, but sometimes I do. If I'm on a road trip with my family, I will listen to music while reading, just because I can tune out everything else, and then eventually I will be able to tune out the music as well, so I'm just focusing on the book. But yeah, not often. Where is your theme song from? It's by Kevin MacLeod, I think. His website is Incompetech, or something like that. I'll leave the link below. Do you read poetry? No, I really don't read poetry. I've never been a huge fan of poetry, mainly because I don't like studying it for school. But I do own a few books of poetry, so maybe one day I'll get into it. Why the fascination with owls? You know what? I really don't know where it all came from. I cannot remember when or why I started liking owls. Maybe it was back in the day when I watched Winnie the Pooh all the time. You know, owl. I just think they're really cute, and they're always kind of associated with wisdom, so yeah. Have you read anything by Kelly Armstrong? No, I have not. Where do you get your ebooks from if you don't purchase them? In part 1 of my Q&A, I answered a question about how many books I had, and I mentioned that I've only bought about 10 of the 400 ebooks that I own. And just to clear up any confusion, I don't download them illegally. I never have, and I never will. All of the books that I've gotten for free have been from the Amazon website. They've been reduced to $0, so that's where I get all the free ones from. There are a couple of Twitters and websites which post about free ebooks, so I'll leave the links below as well. So I check those fairly regularly, but yes. How can I get the excitement back to read my old books that I haven't read? This is one of the things that stopped me from reading some of my TBR books, but I think the main thing that gets me excited about books again is by listening to someone else who really enjoyed the book just rave about it and say all the things they really like about it, because hearing so many good things about it gets you excited to read it again. So maybe have a look at some positive reviews of the books that you haven't read to get you excited about them again. If one of your books gets damaged to the point where it bothers you to look at it, would you buy a new one? If it was a book that I didn't care for, then I probably wouldn't, but if it was one of my favorites, yes. What makes you decide if you're going to buy a hardcover or paperback, especially if you haven't read anything else by the author? Sometimes I don't get a choice, because here in Australia there aren't too many books that are in hardcover edition. Those that are very expensive. That's why the majority of my books are in paperback. If I'm ordering online and have the choice of hardcover and paperback, first I'll decide if I can afford to get the hardcover, especially if I'm buying a few at a time. But the main reason why I buy hardcovers is because it's a book that I think I'll absolutely love. I've heard nothing but great things about. So yeah, that's pretty much why. Where did you get your bookshelves from? The one that I found on my back wall. I got these box shelves from IKEA. What places in Australia do you recommend to visit? What are the most beautiful? I really wish that I've been able to travel around Australia more than I have. I don't think I've been to too many places, but out of the ones that I've been to that I really like, there's Cairns up in Queensland, and if you do go up to Cairns, go to the Great Barrier Reef. It is beautiful. Brisbane and Surfers Paradise. Surfers Paradise is so much fun, and all the theme parks there as well. It's just awesome. It's so much fun there. I also really like Sydney and the beaches there as well. Byron Bay is also really nice. It's just really chill. And Melbourne, the shopping's really good. And I haven't been to too many other places, unfortunately, so yeah. So those are pretty much all the questions that I've received, at least at the point in which I'm recording this. I may or may not have a future part depending on if I get any more questions, so if you do want to ask me more questions, feel free to leave a comment below or tweet me or hit me up on Facebook. So I guess that's all for now. I will see you guys later. Bye!